everyone, and welcome to IoT Marketing Live. I'm Tiffany Nielsen, and with me is the CEO and founder of IoT Marketing himself, Johannes Beekman. How are you today, Johannes?
I'm doing great, Tiffany. How's your day going?
Fantastic. And as many of you know, MWC Barcelona recently took place. And one of the biggest stories to come out of the show was that SoftBank, NVIDIA, T-Mobile, and more kicked off the AI RAN Alliance. Our first story comes to us from Fierce Wireless. The AI RAN Alliance launched this week with the intention of bringing AI into the Radio Access Network, or RAN. The founding members of the alliance are Amazon Web Services, ARM, DeepSig, Ericsson, Microsoft, Nokia, Northeastern University, NVIDIA, Samsung Electronics, SoftBank, and T-Mobile. Their mission is to use AI to improve network and spectral efficiency, reduce power consumption, and basically set the stage for new revenue opportunities. Johannes, what are your thoughts on the AI RAN Alliance?
Well, let me take a step back, Tiffany, and explain a little bit more about the background. Because with every generation of mobile communication, we are expanding the capabilities and adding to the complexity of the RAN. We have had the RAN since the first generation already. So, for example, in 5G, RAN was designed to support a wide variety of applications and services, including IoT, autonomous vehicles, and advanced industrial automation. Furthermore, with 5G, we introduced the Open Radio Access Network, or ORAN. The ORAN organization aims to open and standardize the design and implementation of RAN elements, which can lead to more flexible and cost-effective networks. And by promoting interoperability and competition, ORAN seeks to drive innovation, efficiency, and performance improvements in the RAN. The ORAN Alliance was founded in 2018, plays a pivotal role in this initiative, setting standards and promoting the adoption of open RAN solutions. But we're not living in the world of 2018 anymore. And with every release from the 3GPP project, we are incorporating more artificial intelligence into the 3GPP specifications. In release 17, for example, the 3GPP project began to formally address the role of AI and ML in telecommunication networks, and it laid the groundwork for more sophisticated applications in future 3GPP releases. And let me give two examples from release 18. In release 18, we'll see network slicing optimization, where we utilize AI to dynamically manage and optimize network slices, which ensures efficient resource utilization. And we start to see the integration of non-terrestrial networks into the core. So as 5G expands to include NTNs, AI is expected to play a crucial role in managing the complex dynamics of integrating terrestrial and non-terrestrial network elements, ensuring seamless connectivity and service continuity. And these are just a couple of the numerous AI applications that are anticipated. And this is where the AI RAN Alliance comes into play and becomes significant, because with AI embedded into release 18, AI will have to do some serious heavy lifting.
Thank you, Johannes. And also on the topic of AI, SoftBank's Sun reportedly seeks $100 billion for AI chip venture. This story comes to us from RCR Wireless, as SoftBank's founder and CEO, Masayoshi Son, wants to raise $100 billion for a new company focused on artificial intelligence microchips, according to Bloomberg. The venture, dubbed Project Zanagi, is aimed to set up an AI chip company to complement SoftBank's ARM and to challenge NVIDIA's position in the AI chip market. According to the article, Sun has artificial general intelligence, or AGI, or AI that surpasses human intelligence. Izanagi is the Japanese god of life and creation, giving some sense of the level of importance that Sun sees in AGI, which he sometimes refers to as a singularity. The last three letters of the name are also AGI. AGI is what every AI expert is after, Sun said, as reported by Bloomberg. But when you ask them about a detailed definition, a number, the timing, how much computing power, how much smarter AGI is going to be than human intelligence, most of them don't have an answer. I, being Sun, have my own answer. I'm convinced AGI will be real in 10 years, he said. Wow. Well, AGI is one of my biggest fears. I seriously see that getting close to Terminator 2 level of intelligence for the AI. But what are your thoughts on this story, Johannes, and Sun's claims about AGI?
Well, Sam from SoftBank definitely has AGI in his mind, but again, let me take a step back. So this is what SoftBank does and has been doing ever since they were founded. SoftBank is an early investor of new technology. To give you one example of an investment that they did, they invested very early in Alibaba, and they had a significant return from that investment in Alibaba. So since March 2023, the SoftBank CEO, Yoshimatsu Goto, stated that the company was getting ready to go on the offensive with the AI revolution on the horizon. So what Sun is saying was already predicted back in 2023. And SoftBank has been gradually selling off parts of its current investment portfolio to reinvest in AI. And as you mentioned, Masayoshi Son is attempting to raise $100 billion to establish a new venture that would compete with, well, the likes, but in this essence, NVIDIA in the area of AI chips. Meanwhile, on this side of the Pacific, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is seeking up to $7 billion for a new AI chip project. He's looking for a lot of money. But we'll see many more AI chip projects in the near future. So returning to your second question, Jensen Huang, NVIDIA CEO, has stated that AI could surpass human intelligence tests within 5 years. So 10 years may be conservative. And what you said about Terminator level of intelligence, I think we'll see that pretty soon.
Yay. No, we'll see what happens, I suppose. And as we've seen in the first two stories, AI is a very, very hot topic. And with that, we're thrilled to announce that we'll be hosting an AI day called Intelligent Thinking on July 18th, where you can learn more about not only AI, but generative AI, AIoT, as well as many other topics pertaining to AI. And this event will also cover many other variations. So we'll have speakers such as Dr. Scott Gerard, who also participated in our 2024 Emerging Trends webinar. And he's going to talk to us about AIoT specifically. And we have a great download available from Dr. Scott. And that is on anomaly detection in power equipment. It's a case study. So if you'd like to download that, you can download it now, as well as get your free early bird pass for the AI Day, as well as our upcoming Green Things Summit. And you can do all that at iotmktg.com. And I know you're looking forward to this event, Johannes, as AI is definitely something that you're very enthusiastic about. Is there anything you'd like to add about our upcoming AI Day?
Well, we only had to wait for 70 years to get to where we are with AI now, Tiffany. So yes, I'm absolutely looking forward to our Intelligent Thinking AI Day, Tiffany. And there's so much happening in AI, AIoT, generative AI, large language models, and deep learning. For example, by July, Sora, which is the latest project from OpenAI, will very likely have gone live, so we can try out text to video. And I can already foresee there's just too much to cover in one day, so we'll likely need to include an AIoT track in the summer of things. So it's going to be very interesting.
Thanks, Johannes. And yes, AI will definitely be a part of probably everything going forward. I just attended the Channel Partners show here in Las Vegas, and AI is definitely at the core of pretty much every conversation. And speaking of chips, the Biden administration has announced $1.5 billion in potential funding to support multiple semiconductor manufacturing projects in New York and Vermont. According to RCR Wireless, the Department of Commerce and Global Foundries have signed a non binding agreement of terms for the funding under the CHIPS and Science Act. The projects are expected to include direct funding plus loans and about 10 million in dedicated funding for workforce development, with total potential public and private investment for the projects estimated at roughly 12.5 billion according to Commerce. In a release, the Commerce Department said that Global Foundries chips are fundamental to everyday applications that impact all Americans, from blind spot detection and collision warnings in cars to smartphones and electric vehicles that last longer between charges, to secure and reliable Wi Fi and cellular connections. Shortages of these chips during the COVID-19 pandemic contributed to the availability and price crunches for a broad range of goods, the agency added, particularly in the automotive sector. GF also provides chips to support defense applications. The proposed funding would involve 3 projects: a new available in the US, and leverage existing infrastructure at a Global Foundry site in Malta, New York, for faster realization of the facility, as well as expansion of the Malta fab, including a strategic agreement with General Motors for the automotive manufacturer to lock down a domestic supply of essential chips. And Johannes, given your experience with semiconductors, what are your thoughts on the 1.5 billion in proposed funding for semiconductor manufacturing?
Well, let me put the 1.5 billion US dollars in perspective, Tiffany. In 2023, the global semiconductor sales reached 526 billion, with all fabrication facilities or fabs operating at or near the maximum capacity. By 2030, the semiconductor market size is projected to reach 1 trillion US dollars based on an average of 4 different forecasts. Now, to meet this demand, we need to significantly increase the construction of semiconductor fabs, Tiffany. Second, we definitely want to avoid a repeat of the situation that we experienced in 2020, 2021, when we were staring down a severe semiconductor shortage and supply chain disruptions. During the pandemic, it was a perfect storm, because during the pandemic, we encountered three primary challenges. First, the semiconductor fabrication plants were shut down and required restarting, which is tedious and a long process. Second, there was an unexpected surge in semiconductor demand due to the increased need for laptops and servers, along with a significant rise in the semiconductor content of cars. We added a lot more ECUs and the necessity to perform numerous tasks remotely, which called for an expansion of the infrastructure for the IoT industry. And then third, China emerged from the pandemic a year later than the rest of the world, and China is a major supplier of semiconductor chips. And we also saw numerous supply chain disruptions in 2021 because China exited that late. So what's happening is that the US is expanding its semiconductor manufacturing facility, or capacity, and the RCR article highlights the project in New York and Vermont. Additionally, Intel is in discussion with the government and is seeking another 10 billion US dollars to bring semiconductor manufacturing back to the US.
Well, that's a lot of funding going into these semiconductors. I hope it all works out. And another story that we have coming as a result of MWC in Barcelona is that telecom operators haven't yet finished rolling out 5G wireless mobile networks, and yet bosses of major carriers are already talking about building something called 5.5G or 5G Advanced. Apparently, according to CNBC, there was a lot of chatter about 5.5G at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, and MWC brought together thousands of people in the mobile industry, including those from leading telecom companies such as Deutsche Telekom, Orange, Telefonica, BT, and Vodafone. At the show, executives from some of these companies shared that they are working toward rolling out a new generation of mobile internet, which would enable even more advanced applications and then the data-intensive apps that we've all come to use today, such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Netflix, and TikTok. These apps are already well served by the current mobile internet, but in the future, 5.5G is expected to power even more advanced applications, such as mixed reality headsets. And tech giants like Apple, which launched its Apple Vision Pro, and Meta upgrading with its MetaQuest Pro headset last year, will definitely be using the 5.5G. The standard setting body 3GPP, which Johannes was just talking about a few minutes ago, also contributed to 5G, which uses a system of parallel releases to provide developers with a platform to implement new features at a given point and then allow more functionality to come in further releases. In the 3GPP releases system, 5G is considered to be release 17. This just pairs perfectly with our first story. That means 5.5G is dubbed Release 18 by the industry. Release 19 is what will effectively be 6G, another major network upgrade. Work is also underway on 6G standards, but it's still in the early stages. Main priorities for developing 5G advanced standards, or 5.5G, are to increase commercial relevance of 5G by expanding vertical markets, resolving deployment issues, and continuing technology evolution to build a bridge towards 6G, said Mylan Kulkarni, Vice President and Head of InterDigital's Wireless Labs, told CNBC. Johannes, can you tell us your thoughts on why we need the 5.5G and what you expect we'll see moving forward?
Well, first of all, thank you for this overview, Tiffany. Saves me a lot of time to explain it, but I would like to mention another twist to the 5G advanced story. At Mobile World Barcelona, Huawei launched the first 5.5G intelligent core network, which immediately raised questions like, how can you announce 5.5G when the standard hasn't been released yet? And for your information, Tiffany, Release 18 is expected to be released in June of 2024, which is 3 months from now. So why does Huawei call it 5.5G intelligent network? Well, because Release 18 represents a significant leap forward in intelligent network capabilities, emphasizing the crucial role of AI and ML in enhancing network functionalities, efficiency, and service delivery. The focus areas for AI are expected to include, but are not limited to, network slicing optimization, predictive network maintenance, enhanced end-to-end network automation, advanced traffic management and load balancing, energy efficiency, security and anomaly detection, quality of experience enhancement, and integration of non-terrestrial networks. As I mentioned before, AI/ML will have to do some heavy lifting in 5G Advanced. And coming back to your question, do we need 5G Advanced? Apart from the reason that I just mentioned, Release 18 also comes with enhancements for the RAN functionalities, including significant improvements to the multiple inputs, multiple output enhancements for beam management, and multiple transmission and reception points to support ultra reliable, low latency communication. So the 3GPP project has always worked with small incremental steps, small quote unquote. Long story short, we need 5.5G to lay the foundation for Release 19 or 6G that we're all waiting for.
Thanks, Johannes. And it seems like Huawei's early release of 5.5G was a little advanced. Pun intended, 5G advanced. Anyway, I sure hope they're doing a lot of testing on these networks and all of its functionalities. I guess that's what the 3GPP is for. And, the long-term effects, I guess we'll find out in 20, 30 years. And now for our last story. Apple's electric car project is dead. According to The Verge, after a decade of work, the company is reportedly giving up on its ambitious effort to create an autonomous electric car. Apple has halted its long-rumored Project Titan, work on developing an electric car, according to Bloomberg. The company reportedly announced the news internally last week and said many people in the 2,000-person team behind the car will shift to generative AI efforts instead. Apple's Chief Operating Officer Jeff Williams and Kevin Lynch, a vice president in charge of the project, informed employees of the project's discontinuation. Bloomberg reports that the outlets adds that there will also be layoffs, but it's not clear how many workers it will affect.
Rumors about Apple's secretive car project, nicknamed Project Titan, first emerged in 2015. Apple hired a number of key leaders to work on the project, including Tesla's former autopilot software director and the former CEO of the embattled EV startup Canoe. However, the project seems to have hit a number of roadblocks over the years, including the 2021 departure of Apple Car chief Doug Field. And in 2022, a report from the information outlined on how Apple has struggled with high turnover among staff, constantly changing plans, and had internal skepticism. What are your thoughts on Apple abandoning Project Titan, Johannes?
Well, to be honest, Tiffany, when I first heard about Apple developing a car years ago, my first reaction was, why? Apple is not a car company. Why would they want to build a car? But let's put that aside for the moment. So in the meantime, we've made a lot of progress, and I've written about IoT-enabled ECUs, and I've written also about the rise of in-vehicle networks. And in-vehicle networks are the precursor to software-defined vehicles. At the CES in January, there was a West Hall was covered by companies that were talking about software-defined vehicles. So cars are transitioning from the traditional mechanically focused vehicle designs and functionality to vehicles that are increasingly controlled, optimized, and enhanced through software. Moreover, infotainment systems play a significant and ever-growing role in software-defined vehicles, becoming a central aspect of user experience and a critical factor in consumer decision-making. From that perspective, I can fully understand why Apple would want to have a strong presence in the SUV market. However, I still don't understand why Apple wants to develop its own car. If there is a solid business reason to continue with what Apple has been doing, they could buy Lucid Motors right now for $7 billion or Rivian for $12 billion, and then continue developing autonomous vehicles while selling the cars.
Thanks, Johannes. That's great insight. And as we mentioned, we'll be talking more about topics such as EVs, autonomous vehicles, and everything that's green, including sustainability and many other topics, the environment, the Green Thing Summit this April. And the Green Thing Summit is an annual event hosted by IoT Marketing where we bring together experts and industry leaders as well as solution providers to talk about topics such as sustainability, environment, energy, and technology. So join us for this impactful and powerful event, and you can get your free ticket now at iotmktg.com. Anything you'd like to add about the upcoming Green Things Summit, Johannes?
Well, we have an exciting program lined up for 2024, Tiffany, and the Green Thing Summit is the first of the 3 summits scheduled for this year. Last year, Green Thing Summit was amazing with a long list of international speakers, and this year we'll build on the success of GTS 2023. We have 3 event themes this year: leveraging technology for a better tomorrow, powering the devices of the future, and the role of IoT and advanced technologies for sustainability. And we're still looking for speakers who want to present their latest work related to any one of these themes. Also, there are still early bird tickets available, so register now, get your tickets, attend, and get your certificate.
Thank you, Johannes. So yes, you can speak, you can register, attend. You can also sponsor the event and advertise within the event. So if you're interested in any of those, get in touch with us right away. And if you've not yet seen our 2024 Emerging Trends webinar, definitely check it out now on demand. We had an excellent lineup where we covered 24 of the hottest trends for 2024. We had Steve Brummer of BHIoT Group, Rob Vanderberry of Thales, Leonard Lee of Next Curve, Scott Gerard of Knowledge Reactor, and Omar Casey of OQ Technology. We covered everything from IoT to AI to data security to 5G, NTN, IoT. There's the non-terrestrial networks again. And Johannes, you were also a big part of the webinar, seeing as how you were my co-host. Is there anything you'd like to add about the webinar and why they should check it out?
Well, the 2024 Emerging Trends webinar was absolutely amazing, Tiffany. It highlighted 24 major emerging trends for 24. And if you want to stay on top of what's happening in our fast-paced, high-tech sector, you have to watch the replay of the webinar.
Thanks, Johannes. And that's right, watch it now on demand. And as always, we offer marketing, PR, and production services. And reach out to us for a free consultation if you'd like to learn more about participating in any of our upcoming events, including the Green Things Summit, our AI Day, and Summit of Things. And we have many speaking, sponsorship, and advertising opportunities, as we mentioned, to showcase your brand. We can also pair that with all kinds of end-to-end marketing services. So get in touch with us. We're happy to have a conversation and see where you fit in to be a part of the action. Any final thoughts, Johannes?
Well, we have developed an impressive platform through our monthly newsletters and newscasts, including this one, as well as our annual summits and webinars. So reach out to us to get your message heard and let us equip you and your brand with the necessary tools for success in our digital future.
And happy St. Patrick's Day. I wonder if any of the leprechauns out there will be searching for the pot of gold using IoT, Johannes. Do you think so?
I think so. There will be a lot of people looking for pot of gold.
All right. Well, I hope you have a lucky and fantastic day, and we look forward to seeing you on the next edition of IoT Marketing Live. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Johannes.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.